712665222 still to come after 2 o'clock. Our gardener Gareth Austin, our native, our sort of a man we pinched from Scotland, and also the new Scottish Hymns Band. Ellyn's here from the band just to give us a wee flavour of that. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
It's a very different kind of thing you guys do, isn't it?
It is a bit different, yeah, to what you'd expect, I guess. When you hear hymns, I guess you hear lots, you think of old stuffy churches and hymn books and organs and stuff, but yeah, we're a young group, mixture of styles and redoing hymns in churches, basically.
Right, so tell us, just in terms of the story of getting together, how did that happen, Ellyn?
Well, we kind of were birthed out of New Scottish Arts, which I hear you have a similar thing here called New Irish Arts. So they had an orchestra and a choir, and this project was taken together through a man called Jason Macaulay, who brought us together. And then we've just connected through different music opportunities in Glasgow. Greg, who's the main singer in the band, he has a Ceilidh band, and so we sort of play with him sometimes and just met each other on local music scene, really.
And it's a short Northern Irish tour.
It is. We're just doing 4 dates. So we were down in Skillen last night for Manna Christian Fellowship.
How was that?
Really good, yeah. Packed hall. I think there was pushing about 200 there, so we're really encouraged by that. So, and then Clooney Hall tonight, and then we're over Ballycastle on Saturday, and then Ballygowan on
We'll hear all about it after 2. So what are we going to hear after 2 today then, Ellyn?
We're going to do 2 songs. We're going to do Psalm 139, which is our version of the Psalm. I'm also going to do a song called Home Right Now.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, listen, we look forward to it. Thank you for popping in and sound checking so proficiently here, which is great. 712665222. I'll not tell you what certain categories I thought I was feeling to. Anyway, will you be watching it?
I think I will, yeah. We'll pick it up and see how it goes.
Jim, it's always good to see you. Thank you for coming.
Likewise.
Our motoring correspondent, Jim Macaulay there, 712665222. Okay, still to come, Dominic's Baby, our gardener Gareth Austin, but firstly my studio guest. We're on a short tour of Northern Ireland. In Skillen last night, Clooney Hall Methodist on the Waterside tonight, Ballycastle Presbyterian tomorrow, and then finally on Sunday Ballygowan Presbyterian. Live in studio, the new Scottish Hymns Band. Good, a wee quick ending here. Greg's here, Ellyn's here, and this man on the drums, guys.
This is Rich.
Rich, good to see you all. Very, very good. Here, it's an interesting thing. So that was a psalm, guys, was it?
That's right.
So with a wee bit of what you call here a wee bit of the heavenly tongue. I mean, you're proud Scots clearly, and it's an unusual thing.
Well, yes. I mean, I think we write psalms and we take the psalms, which are just the Bible's hymn book basically, and it's been sung for over 3,000 years that these songs have been sung. But you need to translate them into contemporary contexts and show people that the same truths that were being written about and sung about and enjoyed by people like the King of Israel are still things that we can celebrate today as well in churches.
So tell us a wee bit more about how you came together, because I think if you're doing something that's original or trying something a wee bit new, it's important, I guess, to find sort of fellow travellers. So how did that come around, Ellyn?
Well, we originally started from a thing called New Scottish Arts. I went to a youth camp run by New Scottish Arts and Scripture Union, and then was introduced to Greg. And then I think most of the other band has basically met Greg through other music stuff in Glasgow.
Because there's loads of you.
There's quite a lot of us. Yeah.
They're kind of session players and stuff. Ellyn was the rising star that was brought in from the youth camp because a guy called Jason Macaulay from New Scottish Arts said, let's record a hymns album with all the singer-songwriters in Scotland, the Scottish Christian artists. And so I wrote a lot of the songs, and he said, listen, we've got a singer for you here. And that was young Ellyn here.
The first album also includes other Scottish singer-songwriters, Steph MacLeod, Emily Smith, who's quite a big Scottish folk singer, and who else? Yvonne and David Lyon.
I remember there's a Scots fella called Ian, I forget his second name, but he used to come through our town all the time.
I think I know him.
Ian.
No, I don't. Sorry,
he's much older now, but he was very prominent at the time.
Ian White.
Ian White.
Yes.
Ian White. He was a fine writer.
He's a good lad.
So, guys, making your way through and choosing your faith to be at the heart of that. I mean, we all know that we're living in a secularising society. So what's that journey like, Ellyn?
Sorry, what was the question?
Around you, church attendances are typically falling, certainly in the established churches that you're mostly working with.
That's right.
So in a sense, that's a journey in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I guess the main thing of our ministry is recognising that a lot of the churches are maybe ageing. They are singing hymns. The part of what we do in our churches is to be part of the worship bands, and we notice that hymns are being used, and that that's a big drawback for a lot of young people, I guess. So largely what we're doing, we recognise the value in hymns and just how rich they are and how amazing the words are, which can be seen and sort of covered over by the style that they've done or the people that they're associated with, the older people in the congregation. So we love hymns, and we're trying to redo them and to introduce them for their content. So you're doing them in different style for younger generations and for young people.
What's it like, Greg, in that sense, to be swimming against the tide? I mean, that's the job many Christians would say of the Christian, is to absolutely stand against, the way the world seems to be going, or the concerns that Christians would have about the world. Swimming against the tide must be tough at times.
Well, I think, there's never really a kind of Christian majority. I think we're always in the minority, but I think we've got a message that we want to share with people, and I think there's always the challenge to really articulate that message and show how it's relevant and how it speaks into the worldviews of the different cultures and the different people around us, because I think the witness of the church about who Jesus is and what he's done, I as a Christian, I find that really important, and I just love sharing that message with people, and music's such a great way to do that as well, because you can communicate your heart to people and people respond to that, and that's what I love. I
was going to say, over here we talk about cross-community stuff, where Catholics and Protestants get together, but I mean, over here we've had our difficulties, down the years with divisions and all the rest, but you're working with Presbyterians and Methodists. I mean, that's a cross-community too. There's sometimes no love lost between the denominations.
Yeah.
It's a complicated picture, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we're actually a band that are from a variety of different styles of churches and denominations as well. We all go to different types of churches, and so we have big things to unite that. The central thing of us is of Jesus, and that's what unites us, really.
And the gospel, and just holding, it's what we find in the Bible. We always want to kind of root our songs in the Bible and use stories in the Bible and try and understand them, and try, when I read something in the Bible and it affects me, I want to share that, and I want to kind of try and put that into words and express it in such a way that somebody else gets it the way I've got it, do you know? And I think these kind of things, as long as it's based in scripture, do you know, we just want to do that.
It's an incredible time that we're living through. I mean, we could talk about that all day, Ellyn, with politics and religion on 20,000 scores.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess that must inform the way you go at stuff, because, you know, religion can sometimes get a tough time. Religions can sometimes give people a tough time. And I suppose you've got to be very, very sensitive about standing up for your faith in an era when so many people feel strongly about actions that are done all over this world for people who they're standing up for their faith. You know, it's complicated stuff.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, difficult environment to be bold in what you believe in, but when it matters, then you have to go for it.
I'm saying you can't coerce people into believing what you believe, but I think, you know, you can witness to them and give an explanation for that, and I think that's the real challenge. You know, respecting people enough to say, look, I know we don't see the you know, eye to eye on this necessarily, but can we just spend the time actually sitting down and talking about it and sharing it and finding our commonalities as well.
The security alert has just ended. Maybe you've brought a bit of goodwill to Derry today.
Fantastic.
Good.
My goodness.
Folks, we're lined up for a second track. What have you in mind?
We're going to do a song called Home Right Now, which is sort of a song that Greg's actually written. So I don't know if you want to share a bit what it means, Greg.
What are you coming? Which way?
Oh yes, this is a song about the prodigal son, which is one of the parables that Jesus told to try and illustrate what it's like when people run away from God. They don't want anything to do with God. And the prodigal son, most folks who were brought up in Bible class know these kind of stories, but it's not just a children's story. It's an important story about our own relationship with God. And this is when the prodigal son goes away and spends all his money and is completely hitting rock bottom. And I wrote it from the perspective of him, as I think, you know, I imagine him giving his older brother a call to see if he can leave him a message.
I'll give you the details of the tour, folks, after this particular track, live in studio. The new Scottish Hymns Band.
Brother, can you hear me? I have been defeated. I followed my desires, and they dressed me in chains. And brother, I regret it, and finally I get it. And now I reach the bottom of the well, and it's hell, 'cause all I want is to be home right now with you and Dad. The life that we had, is it beyond me now? Is there some way, somehow, across the dark sea to where I should be, back home? And I have spent the money given to protect me from sinners and from sirens. I embraced my disgrace, and pride is no companion as I falter homeward, an undeserving stranger, but maybe a slave enough to be saved. 'Cause all I want is to be home right now with you and Dad. The life that we had, is it beyond me now? Is there some way, somehow, across the dark sea to where I should be, back home? And if God is holy and his ways are just, and then what should we expect when we are nothing? to be home right now with you and I. The life that we had, is it beyond me now? Is there some way, somehow? Now I long to go. How long is the road back home? And I can see a dust cloud rising in the distance. Somebody is running, and somebody is running.
I always wish there were more people than one in here listening to people, because you feel silly going like that. You're like, is there only one person likes them?
Knock yourself out. Go
It's
for
only
it.
me. That's very good. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Indeed,
Thanks a
guys.
lot.
Just to remind you that the band, the new Scottish Hymns Band, are in town tonight. They've been Clooney Hall Methodist in the Waterside. They're a lovely wee venue. Tenor tonight, then a tenor tomorrow in Ballycastle Presbyterian. Sunday night then Ballygowan Presbyterian. Thank you for playing today.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
having us.
71266 522 now.